Good morning, all of you. I am Utsav Thakur here for explaining lesson number 2, Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. So, we will start our chapter with this introduction. Long Walk to Freedom is the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, who was the former South African president. This chapter is the extract from the Long Walk to Freedom book. It includes the description of the inauguration ceremony and citations from his speech and about his journey to being a freedom fighter. It says about the other countless people who fought for their freedom. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was very popular in those days. It referred to the discrimination between people on the basis of their race and color. It was one of the most brutal societies in which dark-skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. This lesson gives us an overview of the struggles of Mandela for making the society with no discrimination on the basis of their caste, color, race, age, or gender. Meaning of some of the difficult words are given on the next slide. After reading this, you can go for the explanation which is on the next slide. Here are some of the difficult words from the last page, that is page number 17. So let us discuss what is given on page number 17. 10th May was the day when Nelson Mandela sworn in as the first black head of state, South Africa. It was after years of struggle that his anti-racist party came into power. Until then, the seat had always been occupied by white president. That is why the author referred to the day as bright and clear. It was a morning full of hope. Days before this date, many notable personalities started congratulating him for this victory. For the first time in the country's history, so many international leaders came together for their inauguration ceremony. The ceremony took place in a circular building made of sandstone consisting of Union Building in the Pretoria city. The author was accompanied by his daughter Zenani on his big day. First, the two vice presidents took an oath. Then, when his turn came, he committed to respect, protect, and abide by the Constitution and to devote his entire self into the welfare of the country. Some of the meanings of difficult words are given on the next slide. After reading these meanings, you can go for the next slide for the explanation of the page number 18. So let us begin explanation of page number 18. The author also mentions some parts of his speech where he said that everyone by his presence was giving rise to a hope for a new beginning. Previous rulers were discriminatory and lasted for long, but the ones who are given the opportunity to rule now would stand up against discrimination. He is glad to host a ceremony with the presence of global leaders. It is an achievement in itself. There was a time when South Africa, for practicing apartheid, lost all its international political relationships. Now, when there is no segregation on the basis of race and gender, other nations are happy to have healthy democratic relationships. Finally, they have come to power and they pledged to make everyone proud. He thanked everyone, especially the international leaders, for joining them in celebrating their achievement, which is a step towards an equal society where every human will be treated fairly. He mentions that after great struggle, they have finally achieved political freedom. His government promised to free everyone of the still existing poverty, hardship, and inequalities of all kinds, along with assuring everyone of a country where no community will be considered inferior. He then exclaimed that freedom should rule and may God shower his blessings.
Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about the chapter of Standard 10, that is Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom, Part 3. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters and troop carriers rode in a perfect formation over Union buildings. It was not only a display of a pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of military's loyalty to a new formed government that had been freely and fairly elected. Nelson Mandela says that the few moments later, after the oath-taking ceremony, they all see upwards in awe and surprise as a spectacular array of South African jets. Spectacular array means an impressive display of South African jets, helicopters and troop carriers rode in a perfect formation over the Union buildings. He says that this impressive display was going over the Union buildings. He says that it was not just to display the military force. It was not just a display, but it was a demonstration that military was loyal to the democracy, to a new government that was formed freely and fairly. In this picture, you can see the impressive display, how it was created. It was like this once displayed. Only the few moments before, the highest generals of South African Defence Force and Police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from the days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. I was not mindful of the fact that not so many years before, they would not have saluted but arrested me. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of black, red, green, blue and gold of new South African flag. Dr. Mandela says that a few moments before, the highest generals of the Defence Force of South African Police and their chests bedecked means decorated with the ribbons and medals they have got from earlier days, saluted him and pledged their loyalty to him. Dr. Mandela says that he was not believing that fact, because these highest generals and the police officers were those who have many years ago arrested him and not saluted him, but now they were saluting Dr. Mandela. So he was unmindful of that fact. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets. Chevron of Impala jets means Impala jets in the formation of V shape. He says that this formation left the smoke trail of black, red, green, blue and gold of new South African flag. The day was symbolized for me by playing of our two national anthems and the vision of white singing Nkosi Sikelel' Afrika and black singing Die Stem, the old anthem of Republic. Although that day neither of the group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. Dr. Mandela tells that that day was made more special for him as two groups, the one group of white and the another group of blacks, were both singing their own national anthem. The whites were singing the Nkosi Sikelel' Afrika and the blacks were singing the Die Stem. The Die Stem was also the old anthem of their republic. He says that although on that day none of the group, either of the black or the white, knew the lyrics of the anthem of each other, which they once despised. Despised means hated. He says that they would soon know that words of the anthem by heart. On the day of inauguration, I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. In the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, the white-skinned peoples of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhuman societies the world has ever known. Now in the last decade of the 20th century and my own 8th decade as a man, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by the one that recognized the rights and freedoms of all peoples regardless of the color of their skin. Dr. Mandela says that on the day of inauguration he was overwhelmed with emotional, with a sense of history. He says that he was emotional when he remembered the history. He says that in the first decade of the 20th century, that is between 1900 to 1920, 10, a few years after the Anglo-Boer War, after the bitter Anglo-Boer War, and before his own birth. This white-skinned people started the differences and erected a system of racial domination, that is apartheid, against the dark-skinned peoples who were of their own land. The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhuman activities. The structure that was created was very harsh and most inhuman, and the society of the world has never known it. He says that in the last decade of the 20th century, that is between 1990 to 2000, and his own 8th decade, that is his during his 80s as a man, that system was overthrown forever, and it was replaced by the system that provided the rights and freedoms of all the peoples equally, regardless the color of their skin. That means that the system of racial domination, the apartheid system, was overthrown forever, and it was replaced by the system for that provided the rights and freedoms equally to all the people of the nation, without any basis of discrimination on the basis of the color. Thanks for watching our presentation. I hope you understand this part of the chapter. Meanwhile, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy.
Hello friends, today we are here to understand the deep and motivating philosophies and perception of Nelson Mandela. In this paragraph, Nelson Mandela says that he could identify with the unimaginable sacrifices of all those noble and courageous men who fought for the collective freedom of African people. He says that they had fear, but their courage conquered it. Nelson Mandela was pained for his inability to the comrades in the struggle who cannot see the fruit of their sacrifices, what their sacrifices had brought. The policy of apartheid built a very deep-rooted and lasting wound in the hearts and minds of African people. The severe brutality and austerity of the white government, the white superiority, created a deep wound in the hearts of African people. It would require centuries and generations to redress their mind from the profound hurt. The racial domination included the white superiority over the blacks. In this darkest hour, Nelson Mandela gave a very inspirational slogan that the greatest ability not lies in falling, but from rise where we fall. This depth of darkness in turn created bright shining characters and stalwarts, like the prominent names are Oliver Tambo, Walter Cicilus, Chief Luthuli, Bram Fishers, Robert Sobukwe. These were some prominent names in the struggle against apartheid. Because it is always stated, a change is brought about because ordinary people do extraordinary things, because of their extraordinary qualities, and their exceptional qualities make them very unique from others. Africa was always rich in the minerals and gems that would lay beneath its soil, but he had always known that its greatest wealth is its people. He believed that the people are finer and truer than the purest diamonds, and he always believed that their children are the rock on which our asset will be built. They will care for and protect for their people. Nelson Mandela always encouraged the honest people having positive mindset for the change in the human development. So, in his lifetime, time and again, he had seen men and women risk their lives for an idea. They had shown courage by overcoming their fears. And they have highly spirited and motivated defense without any breakage or attack, with a resilience that cannot be even imagined. And they overcome that fear because of their courage. And that resilience, that patience can never be imagined in our mind also, because it was just exceptional. He has a philosophy, and he learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. When we achieve our victory over our fear, then we conquer that fear, and and then we are called a courageous person. Because fear is powerful beyond measure and we are over powerful beyond measure. He has a philosophy that no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, but if they can learn to hate, they can also be taught to love. Even in the darkest hours of penalty in prison, he would see a ray of hope for shining inspiration and a ray of light in one of the guards which kept him persisting in his struggle. This glimmer of humanity, this twinkle of humanity would kept him consistent on his struggle to freedom. He believed that man's goodness, man's signs of ethics or human characteristics is a flame that can be hidden but never be extinguished. Because we can be suppressed by ants rays, but we can never be extinguished or we can never be escaped of our own qualities. Now, with his revolutionary philosophies and bright cognizance, positive acknowledgement, he led Africa to the pinnacle of prosperity and progress. He and his ANC party focused on dismantling apartheid by tackling institutionalized racialism and fostering racial reconciliation. Lessons that we can learn from this is that never abandon or give up and draw a line under your past. It means that to forget past and just focus on the present to make a future. Thanks for watching this video. So share this video to your friends to let them know the inspirational journey of Mandela. Stay home, stay safe, and Jai Hind.
A long walk to freedom. When Nelson Mandela was deprived from fulfilling his duties and the illusion and realization of his freedom. In a civilized and compassionate society, each man has to fulfill certain obligations, whether they are personal or social, according to his natural tendency of behavior and abilities. But in South Africa, it was almost impossible for a black-skinned person to do his duties, and if he did, he would be punished and separated from his family, and he had to live without his family. Nelson Mandela also noticed that he was prevented from fulfilling his obligations. Nelson Mandela in his autobiography said that he was not born hungry to be free, and also claimed that he was free to swim in the clear stream that ran through his village, roast meals under the stars, and to ride the broad backs of slow-moving bulls. He was not troubled by the laws of man or God until he obeyed his father and abided the custom of his tribe. Then he realized that his boyhood freedom was an illusion, and his freedom had already been snatched away. Thus, he became hungry for his freedom. In other words, Nelson Mandela was willing to get his personal freedom back, not to be in the way of a lawful life. Slowly, he realized that his siblings also had the same problem. Then he came to know about the fact that the freedom of everyone who looked like him, that is black in color, was curtailed by the white people. Nelson Mandela joined the National African Congress. After joining the party, the hunger of his own freedom became the greater hunger for the freedom of all South Africans.
I am going to discuss some part of lesson Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. This lesson has been taken from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, and this particularly highlights the freedom struggle of African people against the Britishers and their racial discrimination, and finally they got freedom. Now Nelson Mandela is going to swear for the first black president of South Africa, and in his speech he tells about the struggle that they had seen during the British time. He starts speech by saying that it is very big problem, and they are able to come up from that problem, and And in this part, Nelson Mandela talks about his childhood freedom, that he got every small and big freedom in his childhood, but after being younger he realized that not only his family and only he is freedomless, but all the people of South Africa who look like black are freedomless, and their freedom is taken. Their freedom is taken, and to do something for his people is desire of Nelson Mandela. So he decided to join ANC. ANC means African National Congress. He joined ANC in 1944, and there he became involved in anti-colonial and African nationalist politics. After that, he was imprisoned for 27 years, where he is repeatedly tortured. Even they are not given good food for it, and they have to drink impure water. He says that the imprisonment drove him to become criminal, and also forced a family loving person like him to live like a monk. He says that the pain that his people are tolerating are filled in his heart. He says that he is not much virtuous person, but he realized that they could not even enjoy the limited freedoms. Means every black people of South Africa are not given even a small and poor freedoms. They only if they speak anything in oppose of Britishers, then they will be isolated, and they would be isolated and tortured. He says that freedom is invisible. The chain of anyone of South Africa is chain of all the peoples who are fighting against Britishers. He says that oppressors must be liberated just as surely as oppressed. Means we have to liberate both the oppressor and oppressed in the same way. He further says that just because of a man who takes another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred, and he has hate against every people. He says that the people who does so should be locked behind the bars of strong dislike and narrow-mindedness. Means he says that the oppressed who oppresses any person without any reason, without any unwanted reason, should be given strong dislike, and he or she should be locked behind the bars of narrow-mindedness. He further says by giving the example that if he takes anybody's freedom, then he is not free, and just surely as he is not free if anyone has taken his freedom. The oppressor and the oppressed must be alike robbed of their humanity. Means he wanted to say that they both are acted in same way, and they are robbed alike of their humanity. It is not it. After completing his speech and their struggle story, he says that due to the efforts of his colleagues, he is able to see this day of a democratic and non-rational government, and he is very happy to see this day. And he, after completing his speech, he thanked all the dignitaries and world leaders for presenting him and helping him during their this time and during their hard time. And in the end of speech, he also thanks to all the dignitaries due to whose effort they were able to see this day, but they are unfortunate that they are not able to watch the day that is being brought by their efforts. Thank you.
Hello friends, my name is Jay, and I am going to tell you the summary of the lesson Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. 10th May 1994. It was a lovely autumn day, and many world leaders came to South Africa to attend the inauguration ceremony of new democratic non-racial South African government. On that day, Nelson Mandela was becoming the president of South Africa. His daughter Zenani accompanied him in the ceremony. The oath-taking ceremony took place in Union Building in Pretoria. The first Mr. De Klerk sworn out in as the first deputy president. Then Mr. Thabo Mbeki sworn out in as the second deputy president. Then Dr. Mandela sworn out in as the president of the South Africa. In his speech, he told people that that beautiful land will never again experience such oppression, and freedom would rule over South Africa. Then the Jets made spectacular array over the Union building and with pinpoint precision. Military was showing its loyalty to the new government which was formed. The military generals having the medals on their chests saluted Mandela. Those military generals were the same who had arrested Mandela once. The Jets then moved from the Union. The Jets moved over the Union building and left the smoke of black, blue, red, green, and golden color, the new African flag. Then two national anthems, blacks and whites, and national anthems were sang. Nelson Mandela recalled that after, some years ago, after the Anglo-Boer War, before his birth, the white-skinned people started racial domination in his country. But after his born in his 80s, it was replaced by the freedom of the people and rights. People had made many sacrifices, and their suffering and courage could not be repaid again. Mandela had heard that he would not be able to thank all those men who had died before him, and he would not be able to show them that what their sacrifices has achieved. Their sacrifices have made a lot of change in their country, and they would not be able to witness that freedom of their country. The apartheid system had made people hurt, and that hurt would take long to recover from that. But that suffering had produced some extraordinary men like Chief Lithuli, Walter Sisulu, etc. According to Mandela, his country is famous for minerals, but its real wealth is its people. He had seen men and women risking their lives just to show their courage overcoming fear. No one is born hating each other on the basis of the color of their skin. The one who has learned the hate can also be taught how to love each other. When he was in the prison in that terrible time, he also at that time he could see the glimmer of humanity, just perhaps for a second, in one of the guards in that prison. That made him going towards the freedom. The apartheid system was then gone, and many people had witnessed many suffers, but it was the sum of all their sacrifices. His main aim in life was the freedom of his country and people. The people were also prevented in the apartheid system to follow the obligations of obligations as a brother, father, son, and husband. According to Mandela, oppressor and oppressed both should be liberated, as the oppressor is also the prisoner of hatred, and he is robbed of his humanity. Thank you for watching this video.